Hi everyone! This week's story is all in one piece, and the author of the story is Jill Murphy. I hope you enjoy it. Mr. Large was getting ready for work. "Don't forget the office dinner dance tonight, dear," he said. "Of course I won't," said Mrs. Large. "I've been thinking about it all year." Oh, so Mrs. Large is really excited to be going out tonight. "Are children allowed at the dinner dance?" asked Lester. "No," said Mrs. Large. "It'll be too late for little ones." "What about the baby?" asked Luke. "Granny is coming to take care of everyone," said Mrs. Large, "so there's no need to worry." So Granny's going to be coming over later to look after the little children, and while Mr. and Mrs. Large go out to the party. Granny arrived at tea time. The children were already bathed and in their night clothes. Granny gave them some painting to do while she tidied up, and Mr. and Mrs. Large went upstairs to get ready. Luke sneaked into the bathroom while Mr. Large was shaving. "Will I have to shave when I grow up?" he asked, patting foam on his trunk. "Go away," said Mr. Large. "I don't want you ruining my best trousers." So here's Luke, and he's asking Mr. Large if he'll need to have a shave and get rid of all his hair when he's a little bit older. The baby crept into the bedroom where Mrs. Large was putting on her makeup. Mrs. Large didn't notice until it was too late. So the baby's making a big mess, and Mrs. Large didn't notice because she's too busy getting ready for the dinner dance. "Look," said the baby. "Pretty." "Don't move," said Mrs. Large. "Don't touch anything." Outside on the landing, things were even worse. Laura was clopping about in her mother's best shoes and beads, and Lester and Luke were seeing how many toys they could cram into her new tights. Oh dear, I think if they put any more in there, they're going to rip. Mrs. Large does not look happy at all, does she? "Downstairs at once," bellowed Mrs. Large. "Can't I just have one night in the whole year to myself? One night when I am not covered in jam and poster paint. One night when I can put on my new dress and walk through the front door all in one piece." Oh dear, the children look very sad now because Mrs. Large is cross. They've been told off for being so messy. The children went downstairs to Granny. Mr. Large followed soon after, very smart in his best suit. At last, Mrs. Large appeared in the doorway. "How do I look?" she asked. How do you think she looks? She looks lovely, doesn't she? "Pretty, Mummy," gasped the children. "What a smasher," said Mr. Large. "You look like a film star, dear," said Granny. "Hands off," said Mrs. Large to the paint-smeared children. She doesn't want them touching her lovely dress, does she, and getting in a mess. Mr. and Mrs. Large got ready to leave. "Goodbye, everyone," they said. "Be good now." The baby began to cry. "Just go," said Granny, picking her up. "She'll soon stop as you've left. Have a lovely time." So the baby's upset, doesn't want Mummy to go to the dinner dance. "We've escaped," said Mr. Large with a smile, closing the front door behind them. "All in one piece," said Mrs. Large, "and not a smear of paint between us." "Actually," said Mr. Large, "you'd look wonderful to me, even if you was covered in paint." Which was perfectly true, and just as well, really. Can you see? I think when Mrs. Large sat down, she sat on the paints and she doesn't know she's gone out with all the paints on her lovely dress. It's a good job she didn't notice. I hope you enjoyed that story. I'll see you soon. Bye.